got really upset about a trans woman being on Grindr and liking it.
My partner and I are both on Grindr. We have not gotten hit on, like, at all.
Grindr is a hookup app for gay men. Well, it used to be. Now we see trans women use Grindr and also trans men, the real and the fake ones, but especially the fake ones. The women on testosterone, who got septum piercings, who are all communists and trans activists. And what I'm going to talk about today is why are trans women on Grindr when they want to live their lives as if they were women? And why are these women on Grindr even though they're women? I'm gonna assume that this person is a real trans guy, but what he's saying in this video is so cringe. Let's watch.
Grindr is technically a gay app for gay men, but I mean, they'll let anybody on. Like the other day, I actually saw your mom on there. So, I mean, they let her on.
This comeback doesn't make any sense. You're trying to be disrespectful to someone by being disrespectful towards the girls who are on Grindr, which you claim to support. Make it make sense. It's a valid question to be like, why are girls on the only gay dating app that exists? Moving on, this is a trans woman, I think, and this person actually talks like this in other videos, so this person is not a troll, I assume.
A lot of y'all got really upset about a trans woman being on Grindr and liking it. And I've been on and off Grindr for like a decade at this point. Do I love being on Grindr? No. Is it where I can find the densest population of people who are actually interested in and attracted to me? Yes. And sure, at this point, it's mostly habit and something that I also have a constant conversation with myself about. But I also keep coming back because it has what I'm looking for. Long story short, the app is not exclusively for gay men. And I'm on there because it's working.
Well, it's working out for you because you're a biological male, and Grindr is for gay men, and a gay man is a biological man attracted to other males. Having sex with transvestites is actually pretty common within the gay community. And I know, a transvestite is not the same as a trans woman. However, if the person hasn't transitioned yet, no matter if they're a fake or a real trans woman, a horny man on Grindr wouldn't care about the distinction. I'm just saying. I think it makes sense for trans women, even the real ones, to be on Grindr. Only if they want to, of course. That's a given. Because no matter what, they're biological men, and if they want to have sex with other biological men, Grindr is a great place to start. Of course, it gets a little bit complicated if the trans woman got breast implants, and especially the surgery down there. And before you say it's a problem that gay men on Grindr will see these trans women as a fetish and only as a fetish, that's how the app works. That's how it works for every person on the app. What I'm trying to say is you won't necessarily find true love on Grindr, but you will find a lot of eggplants. If the gay men socially perceive these trans women as women, they won't get any offers. So it's up to the trans woman what she wants to do. Delete the app or stay and find one who do want to sleep with her. But again, it's not about finding your future husband on there, so... Well, what about biological women? Should they be on Grindr? First, let's hear this woman's experience on Grindr.
My partner and I are both on Grindr. We have not gotten hit on, like, at all. Usually we get hit on, like, fairly regularly. We're from Boston. Pretty much the minute I open that app, I have people messaging me. A lot of them are chasers, which, like, isn't great. But there is legitimate, like, interest, and it is not hard for me to make connections on that app.
Did you know that there's nothing wrong with being a chaser and you're actually shaming people for having a sexual preference, which makes you look really hypocritical? It also makes you sound like a woman because you want to be treated as a princess. Honey, if you're on a hookup app for gay men, you're gonna be treated as if you were a man. What is the problem? You force yourself to be in their space and then you complain about how you get treated. To the people who don't know, a chaser is usually a man only attracted to trans women. They're usually very vocal about it, and some of them are creeps. I do have a problem with this term because I feel like anyone who wants to date a trans person and knows it is apparently a chaser and a creep. What she just said is something that I hear a lot from fake trans men. They demand to be involved in gay spaces, yet treated as women whenever it suits them.
Compare that to, like, an explicitly gay, queer town where the Grinder, like, should be hopping, and it is completely dead. My partner has tried messaging people, and people have like flat out been like, no, like I don't want to hook up with you. I also haven't gotten hit on in person here, like at all.
I love how open you are with this. To be honest, I don't understand why you got so many offers in another city.
And this is where the transphobia really comes in, is that my partner, who passes for cis in a way that I don't, is, you know, like a bear, is getting hit on a ton. Like, men are all over him in person. And so, like, the contrast between how hard he's being flirted with in person versus how dead Grindr is very much like, oh, you think he's hot when you think he is this specific thing, but as soon as you realize that he doesn't have a penis, you don't actually want him.
What turns other people on has nothing to do with transphobia. It has nothing to do with any phobia or racism. And if I'm wrong, you could argue it's homophobic for a straight man not wanting to suck an eggplant. Or it's racist for a black woman not wanting to sleep with a white man. But it's not. A trans man, meaning a biological woman, can pass so well in society that gay men, who are only attracted to men, are attracted to the trans man. But the fact that trans men don't have eggplants is a deal breaker for gay men. If you think that's hard to comprehend, you're exposing yourself as a homophobe. But what's new? Trans activism is filled with homophobia. You make it seem like the only thing that's important here is how your boyfriend looks on the outside with clothes on. Not only do you think other people should think what your boyfriend has in between his legs is irrelevant. Do you have any idea how disgusting you sound? I mean, I know the answer to that. Of course you do. Because according to you, this has nothing to do with other people, how they feel, what they're attracted to, what they're into, respecting what they're into. It should only be about you. And in this case, also your boyfriend. And I think the reason why that is, your boyfriend is most likely a real transsexual. But you're not. So you need him in your little game because that also benefits you somehow. You want to control other people because it makes you feel good. And that's the most important thing in the world.
It feels like icky. It feels kind of violent. It feels, I don't know, insidious, I guess, is really the word I keep coming back to.
I'm not even gonna comment on that. It's just insane. Notice how her earring is a bottle of testosterone. I know that gay men love testosterone, but this will not get you any more dates, just so you know.
I am on Grindr. Everyone been to that place? Some of you? Yeah, if you've lived any amount of your life as a woman, Grindr is not a comfortable spot to be.
Correction, if you are raised as a girl and you still want to be treated as a girl, Grindr is not a safe space for you. Personally, I have been on Grindr, which was quite the experience. But listen to this, I never complained about how I was treated. I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew that gay men are different than me.
I'll get a notification that there's like a dude who wants to fuck me 200 feet away. I'm at home in my bed. Either my roommate wants to fuck me or I'm being robbed. Like,
Yet still you're on the app. I know she's a comedian and was trying to be funny, but it bothers me that these types of women are shaming the men on the app who are using the app properly. They're gay men and they want to F. That's how you use the app. That's why the app was created in the first place. But that's what they're shaming and have a problem with, and I think want to change. No one is forcing these women on Grindr. They're forcing themselves to be on the app and in that particular space. And before you say, well, Marcus, you were on there and you're not a biological man, I know. But I wasn't on the app to create any trouble. I wasn't a rebel on the app. I respected the space. I didn't demand to be a part of it. I just was curious and there was never any issue. If people weren't attracted to me because I was trans, I never knew because they didn't reach out to me. I was always 100% honest about my situation. I know I'm not a gay man and maybe I didn't belong in that particular space. However, what all of this comes down to is respect. If you as a woman who fake being a trans guy have a problem with the app, delete it. Go somewhere else. You have plenty of options. Especially lesbian Tinder is filled with they-thems, unfortunately. Or here's another solution. Create your own app. These activists will not take my advice because when you have narcissistic intentions, you tend to not wanting to listen to others. Thank you all for watching this video. If you want to see more content like this, remember to hit subscribe and the notification bell. If you want to support me and my work, my PayPal is in the description down below. You can also support me through locals.com or by becoming a member of this channel. I love you all and I hope to see you in my next video. Peace out.